Alright, good day once again. I am Ishola Adedeji Michael and we live on Success Enlightenment. Alright, today on Success Enlightenment, we'll be looking at trigonometries of angle greater than 90 degree. Alright, I'll start the video by discussing the trigonometry of angle less than 90 degree first. Meanwhile, I want us to have this at the back of our mind as a fact. All we've discussed so far on trigonometries are what? Trigonometries of angle less than 90 degree. That's what we have discussed so far, as far as our discussion in trigonometry. Now we want to take it above what? Angle greater than what? 90 degree. Alright, but let's, before don't forget I said I will give a recap of trigonometries of angle less than what? 90 degree. That's how important this video is. For this video, you can get a gist into what? Some part of the videos you've watched before. Okay, all right. If you master them, it will be more of a revision for you. All right. Let's start with what? The coordinates. All right, the coordinate of a graph. All right. A graph. If you're familiar with graph or number line, we have something like this. We have y-axis and we have what? X-axis. A coordinate of a graph, y-axis and what? We have x-axis. This is the origin, which is what? Which is 0. All right. Any this line to the up, y to the up of the origin, it be what? It be what? It be positive, okay? And to the down of the what? To the downside of the origin, it be what? It be negative. This is negative. And also x to the right from the origin, it be what? It be positive. Y also x to the left it be what? It be negative. All right. In trigonometry, we call this what? We call this what? Quadrants. We call this what? The first quadrant. We call this what? The second quadrant, and we call this what? The third quadrant, and we call this what? The fourth quadrant. All right. And in most cases, we use this first quadrant in our basic what? Economics what? Graph. And this is because in this quadrant, both the y-axis and the x-axis are what? Are positive. Okay. And most variables we are estimating in econometrics a priori they are what? They are positive. Okay. So this is the first quadrant, and in trigonometries, all right, this is taken in what? In an anti-clockwise direction in this way, the same way you see a 1 2 3 4 anti-clockwise direction. And every what we have here, we have what? We have 90 degree here. It's a right angle. Here we have what? 90 degree. Here we have what? 90 degree, and here we have 90 degree. So the angle here, their angle between what is 0 and what? 90 degree. So you can clearly say that theta is 0 less than theta less than equals to what? 90 degree. This is angles that are here. There are angles greater than 0 but less than what? 90 degree. So whereby here is the second quadrant, we are dealing with angles that are between what? 90 degree and what? And 180 degree. That is a 90 degree less than theta less than equals to what? 180 degree. That is angle that is greater than 90 degree force here. When the angle greater than 90 degree is here, but nothing above 180 degree. 90 degree less than theta less than equals to 180 degree. Revise your what? Your basic what? Set theory notation and what? Inequality, so that you understand exactly what all this is. You as a student of economics, mathematics is a prerequisite, is an important ingredient to a successful journey as far as economics is what is concerned. So you have to have this basic understanding as an undergraduate. You have to know all this. If you don't know it, fine, don't feel too bad about you. Don't feel too bad yourself. Just take your time and go and learn it, revise it, call a friend. You can call me personally, I can give you a voice note that explain all that. All right. So let's get here. So here the third quadrant, what we are dealing with here is what? Is angle between what? 180 degree and what? And 270 degree. That is what? 180 degree less than theta less than equals to what? 270 degree. And when you come to this place, what you are dealing with what? Is angle between 270 degree and what? 360 degree. That is 270 degree less than theta less than equals to 360 degree. All right. So in each of these quadrants, we have a value for our sine, we have a value for our what? For our cos, for our tan, and we have a value for our what? we have value for our sine, we have value for our tan, and we have value for our cosine. All right. So now I will take each of the quadrant one after the other. All right. Anything I do in the first quadrant is what is how you estimate what trigonometries of angle that are less than 90 degree. Okay. In the second quadrant, anything I do in the second quadrant is how you estimate what trigonometry of angles that are greater than 90 degree but less than 180 degree. So that but less than or equals to, that is doesn't is there's no more than 180 degree. And whatever I do in the third quadrant is what is how you estimate trigonometries of angle that are greater than 180 degree but less than or equals to 270 degree. And the fourth quadrant, whatever I do in the fourth quadrant is what is how you estimate trigonometry of angles that are greater than 270 degree but less than 360 degree. I'll take them one after the other, and I believe it's as simple as ABC. Everyone out there should be able to understand this. All right. Trigonometries of angles in the first quadrant. Don't forget, I said angles in the first quadrant, they are angles between what 0 less than theta, sorry, less than, not less than, equals to, less than theta, less than, equals to what 90 degree. The angle less than what, they are greater than 0 degree but not greater than 90 degree. They are either less than or equals to 90 degree. All right. So this is our first quadrant. Let's draw our coordinate again. We have this. Don't forget, this is our first quadrant. We have our y to be positive. We have our s to be what? To be positive. Okay. If you draw a right angle triangle in our first quadrant, it will be like this, where here will be our what? Our y, which is positive, and here will be our what? Our x, which is what? Which is positive. And here will be our what? Our theta. So now from here we can find what? Sine theta. Okay. So sine theta from here will be what? For our knowledge of sine theta, which is what? Opposite over hypotenuse. Sine theta will be what? Will be y. This is 1. Hypotenuse is said to be what? To be 1. It will be what? It will be equals to what? Y over y. This is same thing as what? As y. And our cos theta is equals to what? That's x adjacent over hypotenuse, s over 1, which is equals to what? As x. While our tan theta is equals to what? Our opposite of adjacent, which is what? Y over s, is the same thing as what? Y over x. If you observe in all these cases, our sine theta, cos theta, and tan theta are all what? Positive. It means all the angles, all the angles, sine, cos, and tan within the first quadrant are all what? Positive. This is how it comes to be that everything here is what? Is positive. Y and s axis are both what? Positive. So everything here is what? Is positive. Okay. And this goes for angle within what? Angle 0 to what? To 90 degree. 90 degree included. Okay. This go from angle 0 to 90 degree. 90 degree what? Included. And that's for what? For first quadrant. You can apply the basic what? Trigonometric ratio. Okay. You can try the basic trigonometric ratio. You can apply special angles in estimating what these angles are. Alright. Now let's quickly get to the what? To the second quadrant. This is the first quadrant. As simple as that. Let's get to the second quadrant. What are the features? What are the properties of the what? Of the second what? Quadrant. A second quadrant. Second quadrant encompasses angles that are less than 90 degree less than theta, that are greater than 90, but what? Less than equals to what? 180 degree. That's what this is all about. So let's draw our second quadrant. Our second quadrant is this. Our s will be what? Will be negative, while our y will be what? Will be positive. If you draw a right angle triangle here, we have a negative s, we have a what? Positive y, and our hypotenuse will be 1. So now this is our theta. Here our sine theta will be what? Opposite over hypotenuse, which is what? Y over y, same thing as what? Y. While our cos theta will be adjacent, which is minus s over 1 over hypotenuse, which is what? Minus s. And our tan theta will be opposite, which is y over minus s, which is what? Minus y over s. If you look at this in the second quadrant, only sine theta is what? Is positive. If you look at this in the second quadrant, only sine theta is what? Is positive. All all the others, cosine and tan, they are what? They are negative. This is the basic property of what? Of the second quadrant. But now, how do you now transform? How do you calculate? Suppose we are giving something like what? You have to find what? Sine 130 degree, cos 150 degree, tan 98 degree. Now, how do you find this? Okay, we already know that sine 130 degree, cos 150 degree is 150, and tan 98 degree, we already know that all these are what? They are in the second what? Quadrant. So for us to find this, we have to establish the relationship that exists between the first quadrant and the second what? Quadrant, because we only majorly calculate within the what? The first quadrant. So there is a method, there is a way we turn angle in the second quadrant to what we can calculate in what? In the what? In the first quadrant. This is how it goes. For angle in the second quadrant, we have sine 180 minus what? Theta equals to what? Sine theta. We have cos 180 minus theta equals to minus cos theta, and we have tan 180 minus theta equals to what? Minus tan theta. Don't forget, only sine is positive, and that's why only sine is what? Is positive here, and the rest are negative. This is the formula we use. And how does that happen? Now we have our theta to be 130 here. So simple. Here sine 130 is the same thing as what? Sine 180 minus what? Minus 130 degree, which is equals to what? Sine 50 degree. Now whatever your sine 130 degree is equals to what? Sine 50 degree. This is equal to sine 50 degree in the first what? Quadrant. Right? Just go and find in your first quadrant what is your sine 50 degree. Use your trigonometric ratio. Once you find sine 50 degree, now positive, which side does it have? Is positive. That is equal to what? Sine 130 degree. And the same thing here, cos 150 degree. We have cos, this will be cos 180 minus 150 degree. This is same thing as what? Minus cos 30 degree. Right? Minus cos 30 degree. Right? What this means is that sine cos 150 degree is same thing as what? Negative of what? The cos 30 degree that you find in your first quadrant. Don't forget what's your cos what? 30 degree. Your cos 30 degree is what? Is what? Is root 3 over 2. So now here cos 150 what? Minus root 3 over 2. Do you get the logic? So it's as simple as that. So just all you have to do is what? If you transform these two, they are equivalent in the what? In the first quadrant using this formula. The same thing with tan 98. Tan 98 is what? Tan 180 minus 98 degree, which is now equals to what? This 80 minus tan 82 degree. So what is tan 82 degree in the first quadrant? Then negate it, and that's your value of what? Tan 98 degree, which is in the second quadrant. It's as simple as this. Very, very simple. By this, we are done with the what? With the second quadrant. Now we are going to the what? To the third quadrant. We've already covered the first and the second quadrant, right? The first quadrant, all sine, cos, and tan, they are positive, and the first quadrant, only sine is positive, the rest are negative. Now we deal with the what? The third quadrant. Don't forget the third quadrant. The angle here, they are what? Angle that are greater than 180 degree. Greater than 180 degree, but what? Less than or equals to what? 270 degree. Okay, let's draw our quadrant. This is it. Don't forget, this is what? Negative y, and this is negative s. Now if you have a right angle triangle drawn here, this will be our theta, and this is what? Minus y. So this will be 1. So from here we can find our sine theta. Sine theta will be what? Opposite over hypotenuse, which is what? Minus y over y, same thing as what? Minus y. Cos theta is what? Adjacent, which is minus x over y over hypotenuse, same thing as what? Minus s. Y tan theta is what? Opposite over adjacent, minus s over minus y over minus s, is same thing as what? Y over s. Now when you observe from here, it's only tan theta that is what? That is positive in the what? In the third quadrant. When you get to the third quadrant, only tan theta is what? Is positive. Okay, only tan theta is positive in the what? In the third quadrant. The rest, sine, cosine, they are negative in the third quadrant. So this is important. You must always have this at the back of your mind. Now after you must have known this, then the next thing you have to know is that how do you estimate angles in the third quadrant? You only estimate this angle by finding their equivalent in the first quadrant. Now how do you find the equivalent in the first quadrant? It's very, very simple. What we do here is in this third quadrant we have sine 180 plus theta equals to minus sine theta, cos 180 plus theta equals to minus cos theta, y tan 180 plus theta equals to tan theta. Now what are we saying? Suppose we are given sine 220 cos 230 tan 250. These are all angles greater than 180 plus but less than 270 degrees. So they are definitely in the third quadrant. So how do we find this? It's very, very simple. For our sine, we have sine 180. Now what does it need to add to 180 to give 220? This is this will be 40. Okay, this is 40. So plus 40 equals to minus sine 40 degree. So which means sine 220 is equal to equivalence of negative sine 40 degree in the first quadrant. It's as simple as that. Same thing with cos 230. So cos 230 cos 180 degree. What do you need to add to 180 to give 230? That will be 50 degree plus 50 degree. And this is minus, don't forget it is minus here. It is minus here, so we have minus cos 50 degree. This means that cos 230 degree is equivalent to negative cos 50 degree in the first quadrant. So and tan 250 you tan 180 plus what do you need to add to 180 to give you 250? That will be 70 degree. So therefore equals to tan 70 degree. So tan 250 degrees equal to tan 70 degree in the first quadrant. It is very, very simple. This is how you just find it. You just find the equivalent and you find what this is in the first quadrant. Then you put the sign and you are good. It's as simple as that. Trigonometry is as simple as that. Okay. Now we've done the first, we've done the second, and we've done the We've done the third quadrant. Now we are going to quickly look at the fourth quadrant as we bring this video to an end. Now the fourth quadrant. What we have in the fourth quadrant, there are angles that are greater than 270 degree but less than equals to 360 degree. That's what we have in the fourth quadrant. If you draw our quadrant, this is positive s and this is negative y. So this will be like this. Alright, this will be plus s, this is minus y, and these are our theta. This will be 1. The hypotenuse is 1. So now, what is sine 30 degree from here? Sine theta rather. Sine theta here will be opposite, which is minus y all over 1. This is as minus y. So cos theta here is adjacent, which is plus s over 1. This is as s, and tan theta is opposite, which is minus y all over adjacent, which is plus s, which is minus y over s. So therefore only cos theta is positive in the fourth quadrant. Only cos theta is positive in the first quadrant. It's as simple as that. So after you've understand which one is positive in the first quadrant, now the next thing you have to know is how do you transform angles in the fourth quadrant to an angle in the first quadrant, so that you can calculate the angle in the fourth quadrant. It's very, very simple. All you have to know is use the formula in the fourth quadrant. Use formula sine 360 minus theta equals to minus sine theta, cos 360 minus theta equals to cos theta, y tan 360 minus theta equals to minus tan theta. Here only cos is is positive, so the rest are negative. Now suppose you are given angle like sine 300 cos 320 and tan 340, and you have to estimate all this. So how do you go about it? You have to estimate all this. Okay, now don't forget I say use this formula. So all you simply do is what? You have what? Sine 360. Now 360 minus what? Minus theta. Your theta is 300. 360 minus 300, what you have is what? Is what? Minus what? Sine 60 degree. What this means is what? Is sine 300 is same thing as what? The negative of sine 60 degree that you find in what? In your first quadrant. It's as simple as that. So also the same thing with cos 320. So cos 320 is equal to what? The formula will be 360 minus what? 320. So it's equal to what? Cos 40 degree. This is called different to cos 40 degree that you find in the first what? Quadrant. It is positive because only cos is positive in the fourth quadrant. So also when you have to tan, this will be tan 360 minus what? 340. So this is what? Minus tan what? 20 degree. What this means is what? Tan 340 is the same thing as what? Negative tan 20 degree that you found in the what? In the first quadrant. It is as simple as that. And this is how you what? You estimate angle greater than 90 degree, angle greater than 180 degree, angle greater than what? 270 degree. The first quadrant give us knowledge on how you estimate angles, find ratio of angles that are less than 90 degree. The second quadrant give you understanding of how you find ratio of angle that are what? Less than 180 degree but greater than 90 degree. And the top quadrant give you understanding of how you find the ratio of angle greater than what? 180 degree but less than 270 degree. While the fourth quadrant give you understanding of how you find the ratio of angles that are greater than 270 degree but that are greater than 270 degree but less than or equals to 360 degree. With this we come to the end of the video. All you just have to understand that is of most important in all of them is which angle covered in each of the what? Of the quadrants. Then don't forget of importance is you must know the signs of each of these basic trigonometric ratio in each of the quadrant. In the first quadrant all the ratios are positive. In the second quadrant only sine is positive. In the third quadrant only tan is what? Is positive. Why in the what? In the fourth quadrant only cosine is what? Is positive. And when you are transforming from any of those quadrants beside the first quadrant to the first quadrant, the formula you are using, you must also know that is very important. In the first quadrant you are dealing with what? Sine 180 minus theta equals to what? Sine theta. The same thing for the rest. Only all be positive. Why in the second quadrant you are doing what? Sine 180 plus what? Plus theta. Sine theta will be positive, the rest will what? Will be negative. In the third quadrant you are doing what? Sine. In the first quadrant we have theta, only theta. This is the first quadrant, this is the second quadrant, this is the third quadrant. Why in the first quadrant we have what? Sine 360 minus what? Theta. Why sine theta will be what? It will be negative, only cos theta is what? Is positive. First quadrant will be only what? Theta. There is no relationship, it's just theta. Because it's automatically less than 90 degree. I already know how to find trigonometry of angle less than 90 degree. That's all the earlier videos you've watched on trigonometry on this channel discuss. Okay. Now this is the second quadrant. Use this formula to transform it to equivalent in what? In theta, which is the one we know before, which is less than 90 degree or equals to 90 degree. So this you do the same thing. This you do the same thing. Then whatever you find, don't forget the signs. It is very, very important. Sine is only positive in the first and second quadrant. Tan is only positive in the third and fourth quadrant. While cosine is only positive in the fourth and first quadrant. All right, with this I bring the video to an end. The next video that will be coming up will be set of what? Illustrations, solutions, problem will be solved before you go to the final headline as far as trigonometry is concerned, where we'll be talking about trigonometry's identity and product an addition rule formula of what? Trigonometry. I remain my humble self, Ishola Adedeji Michael, and here is Success Enlightenment. If you have not subscribed to this channel, do that now. And if your first time you come to this channel, trust me, you are on the safe hands. Just feel free, subscribe to the channel, like, put the thumbs up, on the notification bell, comment, follow every single video on this channel, and trust me, you will live to testify to the word, to how far we can go as far as this channel is concerned. I will end it here. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget, enlightenment is a light to the nation. Thank you.